Hi, I'm Sue.
I'm Julia.
And welcome to episode 33 of Sticks and Stones podcast. Today we're going to find out what the ladies have been doing during this cold, cold winter. And on our DIY section, we're going to learn how to use the Sizzix machine to make embossed metal pendants that we can make into jewelry. Join us.
So welcome to January 2014.
It is darn cold out there.
Yeah, we've been gone again. I say this every time. We've been gone a while.
She says it just like that every time.
Snow days. We've had our fair share of snow days. So you can plan to record a podcast and then there's like 7 children around, or 5, or however many.
It feels like 7 or 10.
Rather than having one of them smack their heads on another table or something like that, we just keep saying, do it next week, and then there's another snow day. So we're here. We're here and we're warm and enjoying a brief respite from the flakes.
Yes, and it's actually sunny today.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's cold though.
That's some of it. I felt like the sun was never going to come back again.
I know.
You get up in the morning, where's the sun? It's so dark. So.
We took a vacation, a belated Christmas present vacation this past weekend to South Carolina, so I got a little bit of sun.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah, and I learned something. This was interesting, and I'll kind of jump around here. I got some stuff while I was gone. Hold on.
She got some stuff. It's all over.
I got some stuff. I got some yarn while I was there because I like to go to the local yarn shops and just see what they've got, and I like to get, if they have local wool, that's kind of fun. Mm-hmm. So I'm searching their store and trying to find something local, and I ended up getting some really pretty Malabrigo and some Cascade Heritage Silk, which is really soft. It's really cool. We have a dog.
He's rooting through his toy basket. Gonna find the squeakiest toy he can.
But they were telling me they don't have local wool because it's too hot in South Carolina for sheep to grow enough to produce enough to spin. So
that makes sense.
I never even considered that it would ever be too hot for wool.
So probably this year will be a good wool year because it's so cold that they're growing more?
Maybe. I don't know.
How do you gauge good wool years and bad wool years?
How long the fleece is.
Right. But does it have to do with how cold it is? I mean, because animals grow their hair longer if it's colder.
Right, well, and I would guess too that it would depend on how long they need to keep the wool on before it gets too hot for them to have it.
Right.
You know, so that'd be interesting. But I learned something new. You don't get local wool in the South.
Huh.
At least not there.
It's cotton.
Yeah, probably. The plant fibers would be much better
so
than...
people there make local cotton?
I didn't ask about that. I should have asked about that.
They should have offered that. That would be their local product.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
If they had it. But it was a nice little shop,
That's
and I got
interesting.
some pretty stuff, and this is really squishy, and
Yeah, it's really nice.
my husband said as long as I don't spend his inheritance or take too long, I could buy something, so there it is. My little present to myself. I didn't need a car. I didn't need a Build-A-Bear. I didn't need a nerd. So, I got yarn.
Fun.
So, that was my vacation. That was kind of fun.
I bet it was nice being in the warm.
It was. And I had a lot of knitting time too because the airplane rides, I knit almost the whole time. And
do they let you take knitting needles on the
they
airplane?
do. You can't, and you can bring scissors, but you may not bring a yarn cutter, like one of those medallions. You can't bring that because I think if you split it open, there's a blade inside instead of like the scissors are just. But you can bring needles. And mine were metal. I was worried about that because the metal ones are sharp, but it was okay. So I did a lot of knitting, and I guess I'll show you what I made.
Sure.
I made a little hat.
Oh, that's really cute. Oh my gosh.
And some tiny little sakis to match for my husband's cousin's new baby who's going to be born any day now. Aren't those adorable?
Those are so tiny.
These are my favorite little socks in the whole entire world. They actually stay on the baby's feet. And they're so small.
So cute.
So
Aww.
I made those.
I see. I can't make these into hand puppets. I have googly eyes right over there in that basket. We have a googly eyes on. Oh, look, that looks like a lizard or a frog. It's a little harder though than
It
the
is.
adult socks.
It
It
is.
make those out of hand poppets.
It
That's
is.
a cute
But
one.
I think these will be cute
Yeah,
for him
that
when
is
he gets here.
adorable.
Any day. I gotta get these in the mail right after this. And I finished, though I haven't sewn the faces on yet, and I haven't done the ends yet. The Drupal socks.
Nice.
So I think they turned out okay. I had to design this little drop kind of motif on the toe, raindrop. I don't know what it's supposed to be made of. And they're not perfect. I mean, this one's got a funky edge, and this one's got some, they're not perfect,
I
but
think they look cute.
they'll be fine on the feet.
That's right. He's just gonna wear them to walk around.
Yeah. Yeah, although he's told me he has to wear his Birkenstocks so people can see his toes. So.
Wow. He's gonna be so fashionable.
But I got those done, and these took a long time because they're 1.5 needles and they're
Yeah,
big.
that's a tight weave.
I did change it. I don't know if you can see where it gets bigger here. I got tired, so I went up like 1/4 millimeter. So that's what gauge will do. If you guys have never looked at gauge, this is a 1.5 needle down here, US 1.5, and this is a US 2. And it makes that much of a difference
Wow.
just to go up that little bit. But it went so much faster, I figured that no one's going to see that part anyway. It's going to be under his pants.
no, not when he wears Birkenstocks and shorts.
Well, the shorts are not part of the deal.
That's what I was imagining.
I think there'll be long pants involved, but so I did that because I was tired and they were big socks. So that's a lesson for y'all.
There you go. Gauge.
Yeah, gauge is important.
Be engaged when you're knitting.
And be aware that if you
Of your
if you really
engagement.
care, it might make your ankles look fat. But
There you
he
go.
doesn't care, so that's that. So I did that. And then I just wanted to show you guys, because I didn't get to, the spinning stuff I was doing over Christmas. This is the blue sparkly yarn I spun, the big fat stuff that I was so proud of, made into something.
Oh,
I
fun.
didn't bring the yarn to our last podcast, so I figured I'd bring that and show that off instead.
He's cute.
He was a last minute
So you
Christmas
spun
thing.
this yarn yourself?
Yes. And that's the thickest I've ever spun, so I
Yeah,
was really...
you can feel how thick and firm it is.
Yeah, I was really happy to be able to do something like that. And then this is, I think, the thinnest I've ever spun. This is a 2-ply light fingering. So what is kind of funny is these are both the same size or the same weight fiber before spinning. I got like 200, 300 yards out of this, and I got about 60 of that. That's the difference between the way you spin it and then when you apply it and how it works out. So
what's going on with this? Did you use 2 different colors?
I did.
That you get these different...
Yeah.
It kind of looks like there's a beige or something going on in the background with the colors.
yeah, I had 2 ounces of like this really bright, I don't even know, like just bright orange, blue, crazy colored fiber, and then I had some solid off-white, like a natural color. And I spun them both the same and then 2-plied it. So, because I didn't think I'd have enough of either one to do anything with, so I doubled it by spinning them together.
It's cool though. I like the colors.
Yeah.
What do you think you're going to make with it?
I would like to make maybe some ankle socks or something. And the fiber's all a mystery to me. I really don't know what's in it. So, I don't know. It'll work for something, but I don't know what it is. Maybe some silk, because it's kind of shiny.
Do we burn it?
Yeah, we could burn it.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah. See how it's kind of like the color is kind of shiny compared to the natural? So there might be some silk in it.
Huh.
And another trivia, silk is actually what they used to make stockings out of before they had nylon and wool so prevalent back, hundreds of years ago. So I always think of silk as being fragile, but it's not. It's actually, I guess, pretty good to use for that kind of thing when you get so much wear on your feet. So, I'm all full of trivia today.
You are. Send her away for a week to the sun and look what happens.
Woo! See, all that vitamin D that I've been missing has just increased my brain production.
I
So,
have to go back again in 2 weeks,
I
right?
know it. What have you been doing?
What have I been doing? Actually, I have a question quick.
Yeah.
Or is this giving away your secret? Where do you stuff this? Here?
No, in the top. You stuff it before you close it.
Oh.
So you stuff it up to as far as you want it to go, or you kind of overstuff it a little bit and then work the last little bit and then pull it closed and then just kind of redistribute the...
Nice.
Yeah, maybe I did the bottom. But one of the, either the top or the bottom. You stuff it through there.
Interesting.
So, this is Chirp by Rebecca Danger, and it's a free pattern.
Fun.
It's called Chirp. So now what have you been working on?
This was an experiment I did the other day, on a cold day when the children actually went to school.
Yeah.
And so I was soldering with jump rings. I was just working with different kinds of jump rings, and I bought these beads. And I tried to do a jump ring there. They actually have 2 holes in them, so you could double string it to make a bracelet or something. And I tried making my own jump ring to put through them. These jump rings were too thick, and I didn't like the way it looked, so I ended up soldering them right directly to the jump rings. And so, I don't know.
I love it.
It's
That's
interesting.
Really neat.
I'm kind of wondering if it's gonna like break apart, because some of the places the soldering isn't that great. Over here it got really grainy, so I'm on a little soldering gig right now, just to... It's something that I don't do often. I just do it on jump rings for my jewelry.
Okay.
And it's a little tricky if you don't know what you're doing, and I kind of know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I just need to do a lot more reading and experimenting with it, because it got grainy over here, and then I couldn't figure out why, so I was starting to read up on why that happened, and they said it cooled too fast.
Oh.
So I think maybe I had my soldering iron on too long, and it got tired, because it's not the most high-end soldering iron, so they cycle.
Oh, right.
They'll get hot, and then they'll cool, and then they'll get hot, and then they'll cool.
Sorry.
So
Do you have to use flux on this or just solder?
you always have to. You should always use flux when you solder.
I soldered stuff in grad school.
Huh.
But it's been a long time.
Well, I have a flux paste, so you can get flux that you brush on. The nice thing about the flux paste is it's in a tube, and you just squeeze it out. I squeeze it onto a toothpick, and then you just brush it on and then solder. So, yeah, it's kind of cool.
I like it,
it's
though.
very
It's eclectic and modern.
very modern. Yes. But I saw these beads. They were on sale for 88 cents a string at Hobby Lobby. And I was like, okay,
That's
I have
a
to
good deal.
have them. And I liked the colors together.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe I'll make a few more and give them to people as gifts just for fun. But yeah, I think it could turn out kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I would like to bend it a little, but I'm not really sure how to do that.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm afraid I'm going to break it,
Right.
which is no big deal. Then it's an
Just
experiment,
resolder
and I
it,
could
right?
resolder it. But I don't know how to bend it so that it's bent evenly.
Yeah.
So it seems just so flat to me
Okay.
that I'd like to. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so that was
fun though.
That was a little experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun doing all the different circles, and I started out. I had this vision in my head, and then I drew it on paper a little bit, and then I started lining up the jump rings, and then as I would solder, it was like go somewhere else, which is fine, And then the cat would come try and help me, and then I'd lose some jump rings and stuff. So
Did you make the jump rings yourself too, or are these pre-done?
no, they're pre-made, most of them. So yeah, it cuts down a little bit on the time. So
You have a very creative mind.
oh, thanks.
I love it. I don't tend to have that much of a creative mind. I work by pattern. Give me a picture and I can do it, but to get from here to there, that takes talent.
Well, thank you. So it's fun. We'll see how. I sometimes make stuff and I'm like, that's really cool, and I'll wear it for a while, and then one day I'll look at it and be like, I don't like that anymore. I think I'm gonna just take it apart and make something else.
Yeah.
So I also made the earrings that I'm wearing. These were just buy the components and pull them together.
Ooh.
These are so. I have a necklace that has little droplets like this, and I always feel like I have no earrings to wear with them, so I made these.
Very nice.
Again, really simple. Just buy the components at Michael's and put them together with jump rings. So, and then I have some projects that I'm going to start working on. One of them is before I get to that, I almost forgot. I have a little sticky note here to remind me. This is my favorite Christmas present ever. I don't know if you can see them. I should just take them off before I fall off this stool into Lego
I don't know
land.
if I stick my hand in it though.
Are these not the cutest
Those are
little
fun.
booties ever? My mom made these for me. I saw this pattern on Craftsy. I'd never been on Craftsy,
Yeah.
and somehow I ended up there one day, you know, looking at something else, and I saw these booties, and I said, Mom,
Those
I
are cool.
really want these for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so it's called the Crocodile Stitch Boots, because
Okay.
it's a crocodile stitch.
Yes.
And it's by Bonita Patterns on Craftsy, and it's, you know, the pattern's like $5. It was funny because, you know, as not a knitter and crocheter, I said, okay, Mom, I want to get these. So I'm about to download it, and then I start looking at the reviews.
Yeah.
And reviews just cracked me up. Half the people said, these were great. I knitted them in like 2 days. They were awesome, or crocheted them.
Yeah.
Half the people said, the directions made no sense, and I didn't know how to do it. And it didn't turn out right. And so I said, Mom, do you want me to download this pattern? And she said, well, I'll try it. And she said it was not a big deal.
I think they're really. I love the buttons on there. That's really cute.
Yeah, I like this part.
Yeah.
So they ended up, I had her do the adult for a size, I think 7 to 9 shoe. And I have to say that they were a little floppy and they kept sliding off.
Okay.
So I ended up putting elastic in here, right under the cuff, so you can't see it. And that keeps them on my feet. Because otherwise they kept sliding down when I was walking.
They're really fun.
They are, and I love them so much that I'm afraid I'm going to wear them out. So I'm honestly thinking of having my mom make another pair, and then I'm thinking about getting a piece of leather and sewing it to the bottom.
Well, you know what? I was thinking for a DIY in the future. I darned like 7 pairs of socks this.
Darn it!
Yeah. I guess it was probably earlier, right after New Year's, because all like the socks I made 5 years ago, all of a sudden are just blowing out holes everywhere. So I was actually thinking of doing a tutorial on how to darn a hole.
That would be a great one.
And then you know what to do if it did.
Right.
If it wore out.
But I'm so afraid I'm going to wear them out, because... So I think I'm going to... If I put a piece of thin leather on the bottom and stitched it to them, then I could wear them outside.
Yeah, they make...
Because seriously,
that forms at Hobby Lobby. You can buy a slipper bottom form.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to do it all myself.
Huh?
I was thinking, you know what? I can wear these out in public.
You probably
I would
could.
totally wear these
That'd
in
be fun.
public. Put little bottoms on them. And
Beyond your merry way.
I don't have a magic wand.
You just need like an elf hat.
I don't know.
They're
Yeah,
cute.
they do. They are kind of, you could put a ball on the end.
Yeah.
So
Those are fun.
They are. They're fun. So that was my Christmas gift from my mom. But the 2 projects that I'm working on, one is I'm working on a new project, a new display for my jewelry. So
All right.
I meet clients all the time, and they want to see my jewelry. And I always have this problem of how do I get it there. So I found these really cool
Ooh,
boxes
those are nice.
at Michael's. One of my problems is I used to have it on here. The problem is all of my jewelry is black and brown and white because it's made from horses. And so when you put it on this black form, you can't see it.
Right.
And so,
Put them to hold something.
here, you can hold that. And so I first found these boxes, which I thought were cute. And then I found this big box. And I thought, you know what? If I put dividers in here, put some cardboard in to divide it, then I can have all my stuff. Because I always have to bring a tape measure in case I have to measure their wrist. I have to bring money in case I need to give them change. And I'm always trying to, at the last minute, oh wait, I need that. Oh wait, I need that. So, and then I think I'm going to Mod Podge this box to make it a little more equestrian. I mean, it's really cute. And then I'm going to hopefully put handles on it so I can carry the whole thing.
Good idea.
So that's my big, that's one of my projects.
This one's really beautiful. I don't think I've seen this one before with the little beads on it.
That one is actually made of mane hair.
It's really pretty.
If you touch it, it's really soft.
Oh yeah.
So mane hair is usually really short, and so that's my solution, is to make it into links and then link it together instead of making it one long piece.
That's really pretty.
Thank you.
Very neat. So if you know a horse or love a horse.
Or know a person who loves a horse.
Yes.
Or love a person who knows a horse.
I know a horse loves a person.
Call me.
Go on.
8675309. Oh wait.
Oh god.
That's Jenny's number, isn't it?
Yes.
And this is my other project.
Oh goodness sakes. Yeesh.
It's a chair with a hole in it. I love these old chairs. You probably can't see this because they were too close. But this is my chair. And I've had it for a long time, and the seat's busted.
Yeah.
So my big plan is to take the caning out. At one point in my life, I thought I was going to teach myself to cane, but oh my gosh,
Not
too
gonna
much
happen.
work. And yeah, if you're going to get it caned, you should just take it to somebody who can cane.
Yeah.
But I did see one time in a window display for a store where they took the seat out and then they weaved fabric.
Oh,
So I'm
neat.
just going to take strips of fabric and weave the seat.
That's an interesting idea.
So, and I think I'm going to have the kids do it.
Okay.
Let them figure out the fabric. Because weaving, you know, it's in and
Right,
out,
it's
in and
pretty
out.
easy.
And the hard part will be wrapping it around the ends.
Right.
But
Cool.
That's my big plan.
That'd be fun to see as you guys progress.
Yes. We'll see.
Get on us, remind us.
And the other thing I made was this, and I forgot to look up the name of it.
Pomegranates?
It's basically pomegranate liqueur.
Ooh, that one will go.
It was a recipe that was in a British magazine.
Okay.
And it's basically just pomegranates and sugar and vodka.
Cool.
And a little bit of lemon peel, and you just let it sit. Maybe we'll have to try some
You
later.
gonna
I don't
strain
know.
it or you
Yeah,
never strain it, right?
usually you do.
Fun.
I've made other fruit cordials. I don't know why I didn't think to ever do pomegranate. And the other thing I learned from the magazine article is that you can freeze pomegranates.
I did not know that.
I know, I'm so excited because
I've got a bunch of
they're
them.
almost over.
Yeah.
Like in January, they're done, and we're
Yeah.
not going to be able to get them anymore because
Yeah.
they're all imported. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to freeze a bunch because we love them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't know you could do that.
So, but I'm making liqueur too.
Fancy.
Yes. So, what about you? What are you working on next?
Well, the current projects, I didn't bring it, but I started doing a mystery shawl. It's the by Soldering, and I think a lot of people out there are working on it. So you can, if you are, just look mine up and you can see. I'm doing it in a rust and a blue
So
stripe.
it's a mystery because you don't know what it's going to look like?
You don't know what it's going to look like, and you only get the clues once a week. So, and with hers, there are 2 clues per...
Isn't that really hard to not know what you're going to end up with?
And I usually cheat. I admit, I wait till other people have started to work on their clue, and then I can see, do I like that one better or that one? Which one's going to match
Oh, okay.
for my personal taste.
So you don't wait till the whole thing's done and then
No.
decide you're going to do it. Does it have a limited time offer? Like when it's done, nobody else can do it then?
Sometimes they'll give you a deal, like if you sign up by a certain date, you get it for less, or it's free until this date, and then if you don't join in early, then you have to pay for it.
Okay.
So there's different, people do it differently, but it just was kind of, it's something
I've
different,
never
something
heard
fun.
of such an animal.
Yeah.
And this is a common thing in the world of knitters.
There's a lot more lately, mystery
Oh.
knit along. So, and we have a knit along. I didn't tell Sue we were having a knit along, but
Surprise!
I figured it wouldn't really affect her a whole lot. So,
You never know if I decided to knit.
well, you have an unfinished object, don't you? You have your cloth you started.
I do. I know exactly where it is.
The point of this knit along is to do the things that you started but never finished. I have a lot of projects that I started and then got distracted and put it down for, some up to a couple of years now. And a lot of people are doing this year as like a year of decreasing stash or a year of not buying any more yarn. And though I don't feel like I'm at that point where I need or want to
Because
get
someone
rid
has
of
to
a whole
support
lot.
the yarn shops.
Right.
I mean, if everybody does that, yarn shops will go out of business.
Yeah. I know I have enough, but I don't feel like I need to limit myself right now either. So instead of buying though and starting more, I want to finish the stuff that I haven't finished. So this knit along is to motivate me, and I'm sure there are many of you out there who have things lying around. So the rules are, in a given month, and this goes all year long, in a given month, as long as the project was started the month before or prior to that. So in January, as long as it started December or before. In February, as long as you started it in January or before. And you finish it, you may enter it. You can enter 12 projects because there's 12 months. So one a month for the whole year. And then every project for the whole year will be entered into a drawing each month. So if you finish 12 projects, you get 12 entries. And that's kind of how I'm decreasing my stash, because I do have things that I'm not going to use, and I know I'm not. So those will be the prizes for you guys.
Fun.
You can finish, but you got to finish, and you got to play, So it's on, the thread is on the Ravelry group. There's a chatter thread and there's a finished objects thread. So when you finish something, post it and you'll be entered.
So if I finish my clock, do I get to be in the drawing?
You do. Well,
or is it employees and family and friends with sticks and stones made out of plat?
We'd be very proud of you.
It would be the personal sense of achievement.
Yeah.
Is gift enough?
Yes. I don't think I have 12 necessarily, but I know I at least have 8, and there will be more by the end of the year. I'm sure that I start and don't finish. So
Really?
yeah, I'm sure. It's the way it goes.
Always.
Yeah, so check that out and join in. It'll be fun. Work your whips. I don't know. Anyway, work your whips. But and see here now, I do have some. I can't show you the project, but see, it's already unfinished, and I did start this in December, so I got to finish
really
this
like the colors
funky
of
cool
this.
ball of yarn. This was donated to me. I'm doing some secret knitting. It was donated by Query Fibers. It's Quaere is how it's spelled.
Okay.
And so she generously gave me a skein of yarn to kind of play with for my secret knitting. So hopefully, ultimately, it will benefit her and me.
So you're doing mystery knitting. You're doing secret knitting. And you're doing unfinished knitting.
Yes, I know all these mysteries.
Once again, you make me feel like, I'm just doing the same old thing. I have a big order to fill.
Knitting, and you're like soldering and making jewelry and boxes and horsehair, and you're the multi-craftual side of this relationship.
Did you say multi-craftual?
Yes.
I think you just coined a new
No, I've
word.
heard it before. I think
Really?
it's actually a podcast called
Craftual?
Multi-craftual, yeah.
Wow, I like
Anyway.
that.
So.
I'm multi-craftual.
So I'm gonna finish this one. but
Sounds
this is
like
cool.
multicultural. No, not multicultural, multi-craftual. They're two different things.
Yeah. But that is something that I'll be able to show you guys soon, I hope. But this is fun. It's got all these neat colors in it. Well, this is the last thing I'm going to show you guys. I got these for Christmas because my mom is funny. My mom's funny too. She gave me these. She found these and she sent them to me. So I have the 12 knits of Christmas and I have a knitted nativity.
That's cute.
So yeah, she found these in a catalog and she sent them to me. I thought they were really cute. So now I'm not going to make the entire 12 knits, but
So are you going to do
all
just
12 drummers.
One
I think the little birdies are really cute.
Oh,
I
that's
can
the
see
partridge
myself
right there.
doing the birds.
What's that one? A crow? I remember that one.
I don't know. Blackbird. I don't remember.
Geese.
Dove?
Dove? No, that one's the
That's the dove. What's the black one? Calling. It's a calling bird.
goose.
It's a calling bird.
Calling birds are black?
Apparently.
So basically it's a crow?
Rah. Yeah, so these are cute.
That's
These are
really
really cute.
cute. That would be a really cool nativity.
Yeah. And again, I like the little sheep and the stuff that goes with it, but I just thought it was neat. That was a really sweet
That's
present
a neat
for her
present.
to think of. So she is funny. She's like, "Did you get the package?" And here I'm expecting like some kind of, I don't know, something for my house or whatever, and I pull these out because and I'm thinking, oh, maybe they're like books for the family, and so the kids are all excited. What did we get? And I pull them out. I'm like, oh no, these are for me.
Too bad. It's my Christmas this year. You get a present next year.
So,
that's okay. Mommies need presents
They
now
do.
and then.
So this is they're by Fiona Goebel, and they're really cute.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, both of them by the same author?
Yes. So maybe next winter, make these. Got to start in the summertime, if you're gonna have a full nativity by Christmas. So planning ahead now.
The 12 knits would look cool as a what's that thing?
Garland. Bunting?
This, and they're hanging down.
That would be cute.
Yeah, a garland.
Yeah, that would be really cute. And you could alternate, like randomly put them in. And they could grow bigger each year. Put a new one on each year. So by the time you're like your 60th Christmas, you have the whole set.
You have the whole set, and your whole house is garlands. And when people come, it's like in spy movies when they have those lasers. You have to
Crawl under.
I was taken into a different direction, don't I?
Well, on that
note, it's time to go to DIY. So today we are going to etch and emboss metal blanks like these using a Sizzix machine. So the Sizzix machine is one of the paper cutting machines that you can buy at a craft store. This is the brand I have, Sizzix. I do not know if this stuff works with other machines like Cuttlebug or any of those other ones. I just know that it works with the Sizzix. So you'd have to check to see if this works with another type of machine. But if you're familiar with the Sizzix machine, so this one's called the Big Kick. It's the big one that has the big plates. And then we have this piece here, which is you have to pick the right size, 1 or 2, in order to send it through the machine. And then you need your 2 pressing plates to sandwich the embosser or the etcher in between with the metal to create your design. And so what it does when you're done is you end up with a piece of metal that has this little picture on it that stands out. And so a lot of people use these for scrapbooking, but you can also use them for jewelry to make a pendant. So in addition to needing this machine, you need the little etchers or embossers. And so at my store, I bought these at Hobby Lobby, and so this package, this is the package it comes into. It's small. It's also made by Vintage, and Vintage makes these blanks. And in my craft store, these things were all together in the jewelry section. They were not in the scrapbooking section. Different stores may have it set up differently because you can use this for scrapbooking. But, so it's just something to be aware of, that you may have to look in 2 different departments to see if they have it. So these are the etchers, and the etchers give you just a little, basically like a line drawing. And then there's also the embossers, and the embosser is a plate, or is a folder, and you put it inside, and so you get more of a raised picture when you use the embosser. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use this. It's pretty simple. All you're going to do is you're going to pick a blank, which is a piece of metal that has nothing on it at this point. And you're going to choose from your picture where you'd like it to be. These are usually much bigger than the blanks, so you have to, the most difficult part of this is finding the space to put it, and then closing it and keeping it there while you insert it into the machine. So in this picture, I'm going to choose this little birdie here, and hopefully there'll be a little bit of the leaf on it as well. And the birdie is going to be in the corner. And so, here we go. You put that inside there and close this carefully. And then you have your 2 plates. So, as I said, this is on number 1. You put down your first plate, you put your folder inside, you put down your second plate, and then all you do, you want to crank for me? Since I'm crank the other way. There you go. So you crank it through. You have to hold it down to get through. It is a little tough because it's metal inside there. And now, when you take this out, you will have a little picture in there, which you probably cannot see right now. And so we're going to show you how to make this picture stand out. You have a texture, but we're going to show you how to make this picture stand out. So now that we've pressed our little metal piece through the Sizzix inside of our etching folder, what we want to do is we want to be able to see this picture. And so what I'm going to use is a polishing pad. The polishing pads that I have are made by Euro Tools, and I got them from Fire Mountain Gems online. But they do sell these at Hobby Lobby, and I think some Michaels have them as well. And what they are is it's a foamy pad. It just looks like a white pad, but what it really does is it scrubs the metal. And so what you do is you can do either side. One side is raised and one side is relief. No, relief and raised are the same thing, I think. One side is raised and one side is below the surface. And so you just take your pad and you start polishing this, and it will only polish the raised part. And so what you end up with, I'm going to put it on here so I can do it a little faster, is it takes away the part that was raised and leaves the part that is below the surface still there. And your design starts to emerge a little bit more. When you do it, your pad is going to turn colors. And you know, you can go through these pads pretty quickly. And these pads are also used for other types of jewelry applications to polish things up. This one has a really hard sheen on it. But you can see that it takes a little bit of elbow grease, but eventually your design starts to emerge. And not only does it scrape some of it off, but it also shines it up. And so you can use these pads for shining as well. When you do it on the back side, again, it's only going to polish the stuff that's raised, but the object that is below the surface will also stand out because you will, wow, I'm really making my tablecloth all dirty. So you may not want to do this on a surface that you don't want to get dirty. But we'll see here. This little birdie is starting to emerge a little bit. You can see him right there, his head. And so he is below the surface, and so all the area around him is coming out.
Go.
Thanks for joining us today on Sticks and Stones podcast. Hopefully you'll have a chance to get to the craft store and get some blanks and some embossers and try this.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So you're gonna make one?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.